Hello friends and welcome to this presentation about the May 2023 CFA Level 2 exam results. My name is Dr. BJ Tolia. I'm the Level 2 professor at Kaplan Schweser, and in that role I'm responsible for authoring and editing the Level 2 product portfolio for the CFA exam. Alright, so let's talk about the exam results that were just released for May 2023, and the pass rate is 52%. Pretty good. To compare it, the prior three exam windows had pass rates pretty close to low 40%. In fact, the pass rates have not been above 50%. The last time it was in 2005. So pretty good result, pretty good cohort of candidates that sat for the May 2023 exam. Now, obviously, depending on the results for your own situation, is going to determine what your next plan of action will be. First, let's talk about those who actually passed the exam. Congratulations. What is up next? Well, you take this opportunity to do what we call a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Figure out what actually worked for you. And here again, your exam results will provide a good feedback on areas that you did well and areas you didn't do so well, and what is some things that you may want to address going into level 3. Apply for level 3 for the next exam window, which is February 2024, and start early. Now, starting in 2024, level 3 exam is going to change. You are going to have a choice of one of three different tracks. So we have a separate video. If you're subscribing to our channel, you will see that video about the three tracks option starting in 2024 for level 3 candidates. So start early, use this momentum to your advantage, and good luck. Now, for those who did not make the cut this time around, well, there are three main categories of reasons why candidates fail. The first reason is simply not preparing enough, not dedicating enough time. The second category is not structuring your study program appropriately. So you dedicated the time, you allocated your study time enough time, but you did not do it in the right way. And then finally, just bad luck. So let's break it down in a little more detail as to what I mean by those three categories. So first one is not following a structured study plan. So this is where you allocated the time, but you did not have a plan in place. And that plan should be consistent with exam weights by topic area. So you want to allocate more time to heavier topic weight areas such as equity valuation or fixed income or financial reporting and analysis, as compared to, let's say, quantitative methods or economics. So have a structured study plan. If you're using Kaplan products, you have access to your calendar, which allows you to basically customize a study plan based on your specific circumstances. All right. The second reason is simply inefficient approach. You are allocating more time to areas that are not as fruitful, not as valuable as far as the actual performance on the exam. So you need to allocate time where the real crux of the matter is. Again, focusing on the LOS, focusing on exam weights will go a long way. Not devoting enough time to practice. This is a key. You don't know what you don't know until you actually test yourself. So building in that assessment piece, practice piece within your exam preparation process is critical. You don't want to wait until the final few weeks prior to the exam and say, okay, my practice component will come in the form of marks. By that time, the opportunity for remediation opportunity for making corrections in your gaps, addressing gaps in learning is going to be very limited. You don't have time to address those gaps. So make sure practice is built in. And when I say practice, it is putting pencil to paper, not reading a question and then reading the suggested answer. Unfortunately, that may appear to be very expeditious. That may be something that is easier to do, but you find yourself that you have not really learned the material unless you really put pencil to paper and do the practice problems yourself. Technical gaps in learning. And just because the volume of information that you're going to be facing, that you faced in level 2 is so huge, there is bound to be some areas which are not as that you are not as comfortable with, in which case you need to address those gaps so that you don't leak those valuable exam points. And then finally, just simple bad luck. And bad luck can come from not getting good night's sleep the day before the exam day stress. You prepared well, you have done everything correctly, but the exam day stress makes you misread questions or fall for red herring information in the vignette and so forth. So unfortunately, that is part of the exam day experience in a level 2 candidate's life. Now, what can you do appropriately? Now, your exam results again provides you good feedback as to what you did correctly and what you didn't do as well. You are given not only your performance overall relative to the minimum passing score, but also by topic area. And then within each of these two elements, you have that confidence band and 90% confidence band that is included in that results email. So that gives you good opportunity to say, okay, I was very close to MPS. These are if I would have done a little better in, say, for example, ethics, I would have passed the exam. So those valuable feedback will go a long way in your next attempt when you take the exam again. So the future, register for the November exam. You have put in a lot of effort, and some of that learning that you undertook will be again subject to some retention loss, but most of the material that you have really worked through should be still valuable, still useful, still retained for your November exam. And then you need to chart out, what are you going to do differently? Do you need more instructional resource? Do you need to attend exam review workshop, for example? Or do you need to attend a weekly masterclass? So depending on your preferences, your strengths in learning, you need to decide what are you going to do to address any gaps in learning. Start early. So once again, this is not a fun endeavor necessarily, but you try to make it less unpleasant by spreading it out. So rather than trying to cram it all towards the end of the exam cycle, you want to try to spread it out so that it doesn't become too burdensome. If it is not too burdensome, your natural tendency of blocking out information is reduced. So organize your study plan, and our motto is prepare, practice, and perform. So remember, again, practice is a key element here. Preparing is learning the material that is necessary according to the learning outcome statement specified by the institute. Practice is see whether you actually learned that material. You are able to demonstrate that your learning is adequate, is sufficient. And then perform is the review phase, where you're going to put it all together, bring in the mock exams, and then check whether you still need to address any deficiencies. Good luck for whatever exam you are registering for, whether it be the level 2 again in November or level 3 in February.